all it is. Street dudes are wild dogs that you want to train. And it makes you feel accomplished when you train that wild dog. And along the way, he might bite you, but you've already made the decision that you want to train that wild dog. You're welcome. Well, hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and tip your favorite narrator via Cash App at $NAROB on YouTube. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below, and for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's begin reading When Silence Screamed, The Girl Who Knew Too Much by Gloria, Velez. I told y'all we was going to get back into a new book. And to a messy book. The boys I chose to like always seemed to carry an edge, a sense of danger that both thrilled and terrified me. The second guy I fell head over heels for was Vinnie. I met him at one of the many skip parties I attended, places where the rules did not seem to apply, where I could escape the confines of my everyday life. Vinnie was different from the start. He had that tough, streetwise air about him, the kind that made me feel both safe and on edge at the same time. There was something in his eyes, a mixture of warmth and danger that I could not resist. I had just turned 14, and he was 3 years older than me. We connected in a way that felt rare, special. We could talk for hours about everything and nothing. So pause. So the problem that I had with DJ Vlad in the DJ Vlad Gloria Velez interview was that he just kept touching on her many relationships while she was underage. Like Vlad ain't do no fucking underage. And if he didn't, it's because he was a square. Matter of fact, Vlad is a square now. He just got enough money to buy and marry some black vagina. They say he married. I really think his wife is black. Or she could be Russian. She might even be blushing. We don't know. But that's my concern with Vlad. Why you trying to keep talking about this girl fucking underage? Like, he just kept harping on the fact that, oh, you was 14 at this time. You were 15 at this time. You were underage, and he was almost 30. He was 40. Vlad, you know fucking well, you at least one time was like 23 or 24 and dated a 17-year-old. That ain't like that's nothing new, because I myself, when I was in high school, not 14 now, not 14. I don't know that lady like that, Gloria Velez. I don't know them. At 14 years old, I ain't want nothing to do with someone so older. Like, I could have had a crush on him, but I was like, no. Ooh, pause. So when I was living on the south side, it was this dude. His name was Bop, okay? He lived across the street. He was 23 years old. And I loved me some him because he used to do like the happy feet. I just thought he was the sexiest thing. He was light skinned. He had a high top fade, and he just danced so cool. But in my young mind, nothing said to me, Nay, why is this 23-year-old man living with his mammy? And why is he out here with you? I had such a crush on him. One day he invited me upstairs. And he was like, so what you want to do? I knew that at 13 or 14. No, I was 13. I knew whatever it was, I didn't want to do it with him. So At 14 years old, it did feel kind of icky for somebody in their 20s to want to be with me. But when I hit like 17, I was all for it. I was ready because I wanted the dudes that had the luxuries of life. And I wasn't going to find them sometimes in high school with me. Most of the dudes who had the luxury of lives that I liked either dropped out of school to be drug dealers or, hell, I can't even say that because ain't none of the motherfuckers had jobs. I discovered that the playful tough guy I had come to care for was wanted for heinous crimes. The realization hit me like a freight train. How could someone who made me feel so safe be capable of something so unimaginable? The Vinnie I knew, the one who would joke and laugh with me, who understood me in ways no one else did, suddenly became a stranger. His parents had money and were doing everything they could do to help him out of the situation. They were desperate, grasping at hope that the lawyers could save their son from the consequences of his actions. He was still a minor, just 17, and they clung to that fact like it was a lifeline. So, okay, this dude, Vinnie, is 17. That's good age. You know, you're 14, he's 17, that's good age. He might be into some action, you know. Listen, where you grow up, the niggas that you grow up with be into that action. You know, and you're so confused about how you're feeling. Like, why am I so attracted to this guy? You don't even understand it yourself as a young person, but as an adult, you realize in reality, all it is, street dudes are wild dogs that you want to train. And it makes you feel accomplished when you train that wild dog. And along the way, he might bite you, but you've already made the decision that you want to train that wild dog. You're welcome. I never asked for the details, maybe because I did not want to know. My dad surprisingly showed a lot of compassion towards Vinnie. He saw a reflection of himself in Vinnie, a young man making poor choices, lost in a world that did not seem to offer any other way out. My mom, as usual, did not say much. She stood there quietly, letting my dad do the talking. It was in moments like these that I felt the weight of my parents' unspoken fears and regrets. One day, Vinnie and I were playfully wrestling on the front lawn of my house, just being kids, lost in a moment of innocence that felt increasingly real. But then we looked up and saw them, the police cars, the unmarked vehicles, all converging on us from both ends of the street. Listen, I don't know how many boyfriends I was dating that was killers. They probably was all of them. I'm telling you, some of them, man, when you find out how crazy them boys is, I was just talking about how, with a friend of mine, how it was deplorable how these parents were not able to have the resources or the tools to help them understand their children's behavior. Why in the fuck is your kids taking pistols and trying to stab people in the butt? Why in the hell can your child play sports but the motherfucker can't read? You know, those are things that as parents you're supposed to get in front of. But they didn't look at it as cognitive issues. They looked at it as behavioral issues that can be resolved with a belt. But then we looked up and saw them, the police cars, the unmarked vehicles, all converging on us from both ends of the street. Fear gripped us both, and we ran inside, hoping somehow to escape what was inevitable. Minutes later, the house was surrounded by police and other law enforcement officers. Oh, I don't know what your nigga did, but it was something bad. You hear me? For them to come get him at your house? Bitch, they been watching him because they know where the girlfriend live at. I remember the tension in the air, the way Vinnie's face changed from playful to resigned. He did not want to go outside. He did not want to surrender. They had a warrant for his arrest, and they had been building their case against him for a long time. Yup. That's what the feds do. That's what they do. But why if they come get him at your house? Was y'all living together? It's okay because shit like that happens. But why they come to get him at your house? We cried together. Me, Vinnie, even my dad, who tried to hold back his tears, but could not. Oh yeah, that little boy was living with y'all. I wanted to remember the boy who made me feel seen, who made me feel special. After Vinnie was taken away, my dad ended up in jail again. I will explain more about that in the next chapters, but I found out that Vinnie's friend in jail protected my dad. My father was getting sicker, and in jail being weak makes you a target. But this friend looked out for him, made sure he was safe, and for that I will always be grateful. My dad was taking all kinds of medications, not realizing it was making him worse. Over 10 years later, I found Vinnie on Facebook. Leave it to Facebook. Leave it to motherfucker Facebook. Facebook is the devil, y'all. Stay off that mother hoochie. Listen, if me and I'm going to leave it alone. We had mutual friends, and someone tagged me in a photo of him. He looked happy, married with children. I was overjoyed to see that he had found some peace, that he had made a life for himself despite everything. But not long after that, another friend tagged me in a post about his passing in September 2021. Yeah, don't be tagging me in that shit, bitch. I'm not happy to hear my ex die. I would say my first love died recently. That shit did not make me feel good. It didn't. It's like I lost a part of me, even though he was a dirty dick. That was the one I told you about that was sleeping with me and my cousin. Okay? Leo. Nigga. In the human nights of Broward County High School skipped a beat as the real lessons unfolded under the stars. The skip parties were our escape, a wild blend of freedom and danger, where the lines between high school students, college kids, and street dudes blurred. Reggae music was our pulse, vibrating through the parks as if it could drown out the chaos of our lives, even if just for a night. That's what a go-go does. That's what go-go's did for us DC kids. And it was a good night if somebody didn't die, but it was rare that a young person didn't die after a go-go, especially after the black hole. The crazy thing is how we found out about these parties. College guys, some of them barely older than us, would linger under the overpass by our high school, hunting for fresh faces, luring us into their world with promises of music, dance, and a taste of the wild side. It was intoxicating. The rush of breaking the rules, the allure of the unknown. And then there were Hans and Jerry, the Jamaican brothers with a gift for spinning magic out of vinyl. High fashion power, they called themselves. And they were more than just DJs. They were gatekeepers to a world where the bass thumped so loud it felt like it could crack open your chest and let your spirit dance free. We became close, like family, and soon enough I was a fixture at their events, clubs, college parties. I was there, lost in the music, finding myself in the rhythm. It was not long before I was on stage, battling in dance competitions, winning not just hundreds, but sometimes thousands of dollars. The exhilaration of it all was like nothing I had ever known. Every movement was a rebellion, every win a claim to my own space in this world. The music was my escape. The dance floor was my battlefield, and I was unstoppable. But in every paradise, there is a serpent.